It's on my junk. This is the help.
Oh, you want the end game back? Don't worry, we'll play it for you later. We'll hook you up. And actually, are you guys
Actually,
playing some end game?
We're doing end game tonight, so just hold on.
Yeah.
Give me like an hour. I'll do live ergot for you right now.
Keep your pants on, dough pants. Yeah.
Undo pants. So what do we got going on here? What's going on? What game are we casting?
So we're finally in the fives. We're going to be casting VVV. Yeah, we're casting VVV Roshan now versus the Forlorn Hope. So our good buddies, Northwest team, going to be going against the former VV team in this tournament named Hoi Hoi or whatever they've decided to name themselves. But mainly ex-VVV members. A lot of them still have the VVV moniker on their name. So should be an exciting game to see. No vertebreaker. Bad. Is this really what's happening?
Well, apparently we are experiencing human difficulties. People arguing over what exactly we're going to be doing here. Who's going to be running this game?
Apparently that was the right game. They remade the game just for us. And I didn't know.
How sweet.
I know. It's my fault. I could guess the password.
Top secret.
Oh!
How did I
know
powerful?
that? How did I know the password?
You're several wizards.
I'm good at guessing. Oh, good times. They're learning their own teammate's own name. It's pretty good.
Wow.
Claymore 47. I mean, number 47. If any of you guys have seen that anime. So you got a big show coming up here.
Yeah.
Starting at 5:30.
Yeah. I figured like at 5 o'clock I'd take a nap, wake up around 6:30, and just get it done then. I've been feeling kind of tired. I've been it's warm in here. Got the vapors.
Yeah.
I don't really know how I feel. But yeah, no, big show coming up 5:30. I believe we'll be secretly. There are no secrets in the help's life. Come on, bruh. Focus. You must focus. Oh, and here we go. It's time for picks and bans.
Yeah, bam. Getting in there. And I like this action. So hopping over here. And I have to say, a lot of this team was actually in the last Judgment pool that we just had actually won the Judgment, and they looked pretty solid. So I'm anxious to see how this team looks when they're all formed together, Voltron style, at 100%, because they have a huge task ahead of them trying to take on this ex-VVV team over here on the right-hand side for the purple team.
Yeah, I've seen most of these people play over the last 2 days and have been impressed by each and every one of them, so I'm really excited to see a game of this caliber.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games definitely where, as the team, playing against a really high elo, really successful team, an MLG-tested team, you're not going to want to make mistakes, because if you make that one little mistake, the next thing you know, you're going to be, 5K down, or they're just going to keep pressuring you, keep snowballing it, and you're not going to be able to wrestle back from them because they don't make as many mistakes as a typical player.
Absolutely. Look at these bands out here. These bands are not on accident. We have Nidalee and Alistair going off the table on the one side, Lee Sin and insert other band, Shen, of course.
I like that band.
Shen's just a mandatory band.
I've seen him sneak through a few games of this tournament. I've been very curious because he's wreaked havoc.
I've seen it. Yeah, every time he's made it through, it's been a victory.
Yeah, and a lot of people have actually been running a lot of teleport Shen too, so when the enemy teams are picking teleport to try to counter the fact that Shen's going to go somewhere else in the map, Shen's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to go somewhere else in the map, and I'm still going to teleport back and cover my lane, so no advantage to be had anywhere. And the Nidalee, that is a huge counter pick to Bishu. Bishu actually mains Nidalee. If you go to his Twitch page, twitch.tv/Bishu, I believe. He just basically has Nidalee pictures everywhere, like posted everywhere. If you did like a Google search on this guy, you would find out instantly that you should fear the guy's Nidalee. So, clear ban coming in there.
Yeah, and there's Ezreal, of course, and of course Blitzcrank, Winston Gollum.
No Hook City for you.
No Hook City Blitz.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's one of the few things too where even if they were blue side, they might still ban Blitzcrank because Roshan now doesn't really play Blitzcrank. Roshan now pretty much plays one support primarily, and that is Janna. So we're probably going to see him pick up a Janna at some point in here. He's just one of the best Janna players. Actually, No, it's going to be Sona. Ooh. It could be its other fallback.
I love Sona, though. Sona,
Oh,
ever
yeah.
since she came out, has just been amazing, even in concept. She is a belligerent human being who you get to kind of easy mode, and as support, you have a lot to pay attention to. Having her utility and being able to only worry about your power chords really is an amazing thing. I am not happy to see Malphite out there. Malphite is a monster, and for some reason, he keeps making it through on one side or the other and just opens up the big rock he can.
So just to say, we actually just played the Judgment Finals, and what happened was we had a Corki on the enemy team, and we had Vertebreaker, who's probably going to be a top playing that Malphite. Playing Malphite, all that would happen is Vertebreaker's like, he'd get an advantage in top lane. Next thing you know, every team fight, he's just on Corki. Just like, there's no way Corki can get away. He's just all over his back. That plane can't fly with a giant rock man on top of him.
And that's his job. His job is to hold the plane to the ground.
Yeah. Almost pull a King Kong maneuver. Sitting up on the Empire State Building, knocking them down. So it looks like VV team's gotten really, really safe. They've got Morgana, Sona with their early on picks. The blue team just capitalizing on the fact that Malphite's on the board, and they have a player that's really, really good at playing Malphite. I mean, just see what they come back with for their counter to top lane. Claymore, kind of the pickup, the local Northwest player that this Canada team has picked up to fill out their roster. Big shout out to him. He actually started playing in our judgments. And the next thing you know, he contacted a really good Canada team to come down and support him here at EoS. So big shout outs to Claymore, Derek, aka Derek. And it looks like they're going to go with Sivir, which would be a good pick. Looks like she's going to go Cleanse, but she also has that spell shield. Really good against the Tark lane.
Yeah, it cuts down on his blatant shenaniganry as much as it could possibly be. I'm still really interested to see what they do about Malphite.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, looks like it's going to be Maokai going to Long Li. You know, Maokai made a big, huge resurgence since the new mobility boots, everybody buy mobility boots thing, and just have a lot of map presence. The other good part about him is just for team fighting. Once you hit level 6, he makes his team fight just exponentially better, just because you have a 20% damage reduction. You just be like, hey, yeah, whatever, throw it down. Our team takes less damage, and team fight, we're just that much stronger at level 6. And even if you get behind with him, you still have that ability to protect him. He can still root, has a good slow, has great ganking potential, although he can be baited out really, really easily. I mean, it could well be an easy scenario where he goes for a Corki, the next thing you know, Corki Valkyrie's flashes, and he's in the enemy base under like 2 turrets.
Yeah, and that's something you really have to be aware of when you're playing, well, at least if you're trying to play a Maokai, you have to be aware that when you're doing this, it needs to either be a surprise, or you need to know that you're going to be safe. Here comes the Cassiopeia and the Amumu pick. I'm a little scared now. I mean, that Amumu Cassiopeia Mao fight doesn't seem like that's a tremendously powerful team just with those 3, and that's not including the Corki, who's going to be true damage and missiling everybody.
Oh yeah, I mean, really, they just have to run in there, hold them in place, let Corki just sit there and just constantly deal out his damage and clean up. The key is going to be actually getting a hold of the enemy team. The other good part for them as well is, even though it's the AoE team, Maokai kind of fits into that anti-AoE because he actually can reduce a lot of that damage with his ult. And Claymore person might be going some Darius. Darius can do a lot of damage and actually can use that true damage to get through that hard shell of a Malphite player and really put him on the back ropes.
He could, but he's the Rock Man. Anybody could, but I just don't see. I would have been much happier seeing some range up there, and maybe even a Rumble going up there, something like that. You got to keep him pinned in the top lane, or else it's going to just get bloody wherever he goes, especially running that teleport.
Yeah, well, looks like he is going to be picking up a teleport here, and probably have a lot of map presence down here, and that's what we have seen him run. He's actually really, really good at that, turning team fights. His teams always make sure they have wards in their area for him to come in on. And I'm interested to see how this works out. Cardis looks like he's really, really confident going Cassiopeia against Bishu on his Morgana. Bishu's Morgana is just, it's ridiculously solid. It's almost like a Reginald-esque kind of Morgana. When he gets in that rolling, that steam rolling kind of mode. Always lands his bindings. I believe he had a game earlier where he just landed like non-stop bindings. So interested to see how that plays out in the mid lane.
Rock, solid.
Rock
Right now, just off of champ picks, I really got to put a lot of faith into blue. Purple team's got the work cut out of them. They do have the ults. They have Sona and Morgana there to really just do some damage, get it in there real quick, and the AoE to try and push them out. But I'm really scared that the game that they're trying to play is going to be up close and in your face game, and that game is really going to go to blue team. I think blue team has a stronger front line and will be able to hold down what they need to for however long they need to.
So it's about 4 o'clock here at EoS. We've been running this tournament long we looks like we're past that. All right, so it's almost 4:30 here at EoS. As the help check this moment, it's like that's not correct. But we've had some good casting times. Yeah. We've actually casted. I think we casted a lot of the games together, even for this tournament. At least going on later on yesterday, the first day. But what has been the big surprise to you, or your favorite game so far that we've got to cast?
Favorite game that I've got to cast, was probably the last 5 minutes of the game that we hopped into that was already done, where it was grab your popcorn, children. This is abuse. It was the LOL equivalent of the movie Shoot 'Em Up, where it's just nonstop one team getting punched in the face until they have no other choice but to finally let their nexus fall.
I like how the response to child abuse for you is to grab popcorn. Like,
as a father, I can tell you right now, there is nothing more satisfying than popcorn and child abuse.
Oh.
But yeah.
So you're releasing a new album on Bandcamp coming up here.
Yeah, releasing it today, actually. I'm waiting for the last of the files to show up. KDH is carrying them. And then it'll be up on Bandcamp for everyone to have and hold. The hard copies are going to be coming here shortly. Special thanks, really, right now, to a shout-out to everybody who donated to our Kickstarter. Thank you. Without all of you, this would not be a possibility. Doing our music at the quality that we do is incredibly difficult. Especially for people who have to have day jobs, support families, and really are just, nobodies. But you make our lifestyle possible.
I mean, I have to say, I know when you guys came out with your Volibear cipher, the immediate reaction was like, holy crap, this is so well done compared to everybody else who just kind of threw a track together.
And the Volley cipher was interesting because we'd been out of the game for a year. We hadn't done anything since we dropped Quir. And we saw this cipher come out, and it really just spoke to me. And I wrote it and got it out in 3 days probably. And it was so much fun, and I loved the direction it went, and the reaction was great. We actually weren't called out. We actually just jumped into the cipher.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think the first line is, I thought you all forgot about us or whatever.
It's our Dre moment.
Yeah. That was actually, I thought that was the whole thing from top to bottom, actually, every line I loved, which I think that was, I thought that was a really good, strong comeback for you guys. And apparently the mouse must have run away from me. So we are going to hop in. This is actually semifinals, ES 2012. Team Forlorn Hope versus the old ex-VV squad under the title Hoi Hoi.
All right, so which one's going to invade where? Since, as far as I can tell, the theme for every tournament that I've ever done with Raise Your Weapons is everybody invade go.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Looks like we got red gathering around to do a backdoor jungle onto blue team's blue.
Yeah, just a nice little invade here, almost doing the old TSM kind of invade. But Blues has a really weird spread out here. It's almost like they're preparing for a quick gank on top lane, or maybe they know this is coming in. This is kind of an interesting play because they're reacting kind of like they know something is up here.
I think that Cass might have seen what was going on. And right now, the biggest mistake that Red could make would be doing any kind of split retreat. Because if they get caught up top, there's 3 dudes just chilling, waiting for some action, and that could get bloody for him real quick.
Yeah, Claymore might be in for some hurt if he shows up in top lane and they actually decide to camp that stuff out. Because it looks like they could actually, I mean, they have a lot of options here. Like with the 3 champions they have up there, they could decide to do a 2v1 top.
But it's not looking like it's going to matter because here we go. We're officially on the move. Red is in the full invade.
You know, one thing I have to say about a team with a Roshan now on their team, it looks like, oh, they're closing in here. They're actually going to take the big wolf as well. Insult to injury, and they're going to set up here for this blue buff. And are they going to? No, this looks like they're blue pilling back their 2v1, but the blue team might collapse in here. They have 5 members that are set up. Oh, and a pause.
Of course, classic raise your weapons pause. We can't have a game without at least 2.
Hey, you know, 4 or 5 of them start playing music. Oh, right back in.
Damn.
Right back in.
And it looks like here's going to be the response.
I think they're actually just going to try to catch the rotation. That looks like what's going to be in Claymore. Lights out, buddy. Here you go. He was not expecting that, and he's going to go down. That is going to be first blood for the blue team. Brutal, brutal, brutal. They set that up the entire time.
They were just patient, and there's Malphite teleporting bottom. It looks like they're going to rock this way, rock the 2v1 bottom. Amazing choice. Definitely going to throw him off their game here. Malphite is a great at picking up CS on his turret. He can harass beautifully, and he has the teleport to get anywhere he wants.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good poke lane here. The key is for him to be able to dodge those boomerang blades. Although he's putting a lot of damage on Altec already. Actually getting will he be able to take him down? Exhaust coming down. That is actually going to save Altec, and now the trade is coming in. Will Vertibaker be able to pull up? He is pot committed at this point. He's going to have to take out Altec, but Altec's moving towards some more minions. Vertibaker just needs one more, and he just barely misses. And that support, that was so close. If he would have picked that up, that would have been huge for Team Forlorn Hope. And I like this play. You know what, Forlorn Hope is like, hey, we're playing against this really good team. We need to make plays. So what are they doing? They're doing this unorthodox stuff, running around and trying to put this VV team on their back foot to give them a chance to take down this game.
Absolutely. Top lane up there, we have a very, very, very pushed Darius. Really kind of getting pushed back there. Let's see how he's doing on CS. 5 to Corky's 16. So he is getting denied a bunch, which is actually a good position to be in. And here comes Big and Brutal.
Yeah, I think Vertibaker right there, him dying actually kind of put them on an even foot, even though they had that early gank on Claymore. The same thing kind of ended up happening to Vertibaker, and they already almost have this turret down at 4 minutes. That's kind of the scary part. Whenever you do the 2v1 lane, your entire goal has to be to take down the turret as fast as possible. But mainly, it comes in the fact that you want to be the team. If you do the 2v1, you want to take down the top turret faster, so you can swap your lanes, get back to bottom, and have that dragon control. Instead, almost the reverse is happening for the red team. They're just like straight up almost have this turret down at bottom. At 4 minutes in.
But I think we have time. I think that there's not too much excitement yet. We definitely have the time necessary to see what's going on. Now that he's back in lane, he should be able to keep him off. He being Malphite should be able to keep him off the turret for a while, while top lane seems to just be doing work.
Well, early happy birthday to Brazier, and I will get you some RP, sir. I will make sure I make a trip to the store and get you your RP.
And mid lane, apparently we missed some action there.
Cardius getting burned alive, and that against a player like Bishu, you do not want that. And he's going to miss a lot of CS because we're going to be able to push this, but the jungle has been pulled in here from Caliburn. He's going to try to get a little bit of this experience and gold to make sure it doesn't go completely to waste. But look at this pressure on bottom turret.
It looks like we were wrong, and this bottom turret is going to fall very quickly. Sivir just seems to no longer care, just doing work in work mode.
Yeah, the funny thing about this is typically when you run the 2v1 top strat, usually it's from red side, so that your 2v1 can actually start you can start golems, you can actually get a level advantage. They did it differently this time. They tried to get the pick off and then try to snowball that into a lot of pressure. But it really hasn't worked out for them because Malphite went down there, he didn't play safe enough. He actually got picked up, and it was really, really close. But the fact they got picked up, we have a gank in here on mid. Darkbine's still going to land, even though he flashes after the fact. Macarius looks like he was going to be able to survive. Gets a lot of poison damage. It's going to pick up and a double buff. That is actually huge for Team Forlorn Hope there.
That was actually really impressive. I'm really happy with the way that Amumu played that, even though the Black Shield came up. I almost was going to say that nothing was going to happen. But show enough. Cassiopeia was able to go in there. That double buff is really going to help get her back on track against Bishu in mid. Yeah,
that's one of those moments as a mid laner where you're like, where you go to your jungle and you're like, thanks, man, this is going to be fun. I have to deal with the double buff Cassiopeia, because Cassiopeia already has a lot of damage like we just saw there, some output potential. It looks like AD is going to come in top here, and we might see another lane swap for the red team.
I believe you're right. I believe that they're going to try to go back to, now that they've pushed that tower down, they're going to send their boy down there to 1v and try and, do some more work. He was having a hard time up there. He was able to hold the turret longer than bot lane was, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so this is actually really reverse of like the whole kind of goal of like pushing down the tower, getting the dragon control. Instead, what it might be is they might set up blue buff control, because they do have that timer because they invaded blue buff earlier. So they could be right on it when we get up to that 7-10 mark. About we could see them with their dual lane top try to get down there and try to make a play for that blue buff.
And Sivir is mean with blue buff. If they let that get on Sivir, there's just going to be boomerangs for everybody.
And Malphite actually coming top now. This will be interesting play for him. He is level 5, so he actually doesn't have his ult yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious why he's up there yet, unless he's really, really close to leveling. Oh, they're just going to do the swap.
Yeah,
they want to keep this going on, even though it's been a lost lane so far.
Yeah, I don't know if I really like that choice, because here's the scenario that might happen now. The dual lane they had top lane wasn't successful in pushing down the top turret. Now they might lose their top turret. Looks like Maokai's actually going to come here and support this. They might lose 2 turrets now to this 2v1 strat, and the Hoi Hoi team didn't even start this whole shenanigans. Calibert trying to come in there, trying to land his ult, but Malphite has to be really, really careful. Exhaust coming in here. Malphite still doesn't have anything.
And Morgana's rolling up from mid. It has been seen, but it is a 4v1 up top right now. That turret's going to fall without help.
Yeah, and it looks like Cassiopeia going to pick up her blue buff and refresh that for herself.
Probably just in time, too. Yep, there is the Morgana rolling down to see that. They just saw that it got snagged. Will they do some hunting, or will they back up to top?
And actually, there was a little bit of a pick-off there. Corki were able to pick off Darius in the jungle. Oh, they're on the hunt, going for an ult coming in. Great spell shield from Altek. Is going to get through there, and is going to be able to take out Malphite, and they're going to be able to take out Cassiopeia in there. Great attempt to save by Cardius, but it just wasn't enough, and he gets picked off in the process. Red team just heavy pressure, and they just want these early turrets as fast as possible.
And it looks like they're going to get them.
It's kind of interesting. I think it's like, Forlorn Hope went in there like, all right, we'll run this 2v1 strat. We'll kind of mix it up on them. But I think instead what's happened is Hoi Hoi's like, oh, we know how to play this better, and we know how to use our team comp. So it's kind of backfiring a little bit on them at this point. But to be fair, they're down about 2K now at this point, but they're not too far behind.
2K at 9 minutes.
Yeah,
though,
yeah, that's still a goal.
You're starting to build into your second Doran's items, getting your second. Getting on your way to your second gold per. You can really do a lot of damage at 2K ahead at just 8 minutes.
Yes, you can. The main thing too is that gold also says that you have a level advantage as well, and that's going to be really, really key in a lot of these matchups too. It's just the level advantage if you get this early kind of thing. And now we see VV Bishu taking that double buff back for his team, and finally the shoe is on the other foot.
That is not the place that Amumu wants to be
right there. Oh, buddy. Oh, he flashes out really, really quickly. VV Bishu just waiting for it to land the Dark Binding, but he flashed out really, really quickly. And now I think they're just going to take mid-turret at this point. Like, they're full route. They're like, this is time to take turrets as fast as possible.
And why not? Sivir's ult's back up. They can do whatever they want here.
Another kill bottom. They had a triple gank bottom. Actually, let's rewind and see how this went down. So it looks like it's going to dove at the turret. Malphite actually either teleport down or rotate down, has his ult back there, and between all that damage, they can just pick on Claymore all they want.
And that's the kind of kills that we were expecting from the beginning, but and that might be the thing that helps them come back into this game. It's just really scary watching this 4 in the mid right here doing whatever they want. Trading this 1 tower for their last outer tower might not be worth it.
Yeah, I mean, Cassiopeia can do a little bit of clearing power. Dark Binding, great Dark Binding landing right there. But it's not really enough. It's damage over time. They can push right through it. They can push way harder than she can possibly push back. And Longly even stealing some creeps in here, doing some work. And now they're rotating for a dragon play possibly, but this would be kind of interesting. You know, Malphite actually used his ult though, so his ult is down, but they could be in a little trouble if blue collapses correctly.
I'm not sure. Look at the wording there. For Corki, Corki is by himself and will be seen trying to come up.
Yeah.
If they roll down on Corki, they might lose Dragon, yeah, but they'll take the carry, and then the other team won't be able to do it.
Yeah, they're way split here, but I think they're going to commit. Roshan now sitting in the middle of that brush. Dark Bind's going to land onto a great pull in by Claymore, and look at all that damage come out. Everybody's getting real. Cassiopeia doing crazy AoE damage for her team right now, and Corki is full up. He was not focused. He came in at the correct time.
Wow.
And that is actually a big trade in the favor of Forlorn Hope coming out.
Yes,
4v2.
It is. It's 600 gold ahead now from a 2K deficit, and they really did do work. That was the fight I told you they wanted to have. They wanted to have that fight, getting up close and personal. That's where they need to be, and they need to lock in that game. If they lock in that game, they can do some serious damage. But if they try playing this game where they're splitting up and letting red team do as they please, they're going to fall behind.
Yes, for sure. And I think one of the other keys, too, was the fact that Corki was split off, but he came in at the correct time. A lot of the cooldowns had been blown. A lot of the focus was switched on the other tankier members of the blue team, and they were happy to let those members fall in favor of the rest of the team Hoi Hoi.
And Amumu's ult landing immediately after Sona's went off.
Yeah.
Just keeping them really tight so that Corki could do his work from the back. Corki now rocking his Bloodthirster like a mouse.
Yeah, that's scary. He's going for that early game strength potential. And if you just look at damage-wise straight up, he's way ahead of Sivir at this point. Red team, Hoi Hoi trying to take this dragon, maybe sneak one out here, but they're not going to be able to do it. They're going to be zoned out here by the blue team and have to back off. Forlorn Hope doing a good job of using their all these wards that they've put down to actually control these objectives.
Yes, they are. I mean, if you look at the map, the vision on the map right now, it's incredibly aggressive and defensive on both sides. Top lane seems to be a little bit clear now that ward just dropped, but all around Dragon, everybody wants it. Everybody wants that gold advantage right now. Pretty bad.
Yeah, so we got out of the funky 2v1 phase, and they're pinging out Vertebreaker, but they're going to need a lot more. And I mean, I don't really like blowing a lot of cooldowns on the enemy tank right there, so they're just going to let him go. Let the fish off the hook, let him swim away in the deep blue sea.
And it looks like it's about to be a mid party. That or another go for Dragon. This could go on all day. Everybody can see what's going on. If there's going to be a Dragon fight, everybody's going to get involved. A good pull out by Sivir, though. And Sivir's boomerangs are now invisible.
That's pretty pro. And it looks like blue team's response is, hey, we're going to take mid turret in response to Dragon. We're not going to get there quick enough. We don't want to fight that, so we're going to take the mid turret. But Vertebreaker's taking so much damage here, and red team's coming up from the bottom. This could be a lot of trouble for blue team if they got caught correctly. And now they're heading up into red team's own jungle. Speed boost coming in. Dark Binding will land on Caliburn. Caliburn at this point lost cause, throwing down his ult to try to hold him there for a little bit. Cassiopeia ult coming in. Altec flashing and cleansing to get out of that. Vertebreaker just barely flashed out. Will he be able to survive? I don't know if he will be able to. Tarek going down as well. Cassiopeia is going to fall to the boomerang from Altec Rue, and red team getting the better team fight that time.
Yes, when Amumu got picked like that, it was an abandon him kind of a situation. Instead, they stayed like that a little bit too long, and they paid dearly for it.
Yeah.
Oh, and a boomerang blade, simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, I wonder if he actually couldn't see that there. Yeah, he actually didn't see it with the fog of war right there and was able to get picked off.
Wonderful.
So
And now-
Altec doing work, pushing these lanes hard as Sivir.
with a sweet double buff.
And that's what you want. You want your top AD carry player, your all-star, if you will, to have double buff, have control, have some farm advantage. We're looking at it right now, 111 CS to 104 CS. Not a huge advantage.
You're casting now. I'm going to go make a CD trial.
Hold on. Data CD, probably where the waves are. This is the master, and the other CD in here is my master does not have any waves. Oof, sorry, Kai.
Oh, no problem. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest performing for us from Area of Defect, Kyle Danger Henrik. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Pato. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent.
Great. So what do we got going on here? I see
So-
the red team's in the lead by a little bit here, about 3K gold and 1 kill.
Yep. And basically the way this game is played out is Blue tried to do a funky 2v1 top strat. Red said, hey, you know what? We know how to do that a lot better than you. Took the early advantage, and they've kept this slight advantage, but both teams have kind of been trading back in these 4 for 2 kills back and forth so far in this game. So we actually have a pretty easy game coming out here, but it's starting to look like the red team's starting to get a better grip on the team fights.
Yes, indeed. We got Darius going in on Corki here in the bot lane. Corki getting ignited, but Darius just diving on the tower, going to get that execute in there with the ultimate, just walk out. Meanwhile, on top, Maokai's going to take out Malphite, and Cassiopeia is going to get Sivir. So a little exchange there in the top lane.
Yeah, some serious fights going on all over the board. Claymore, getting a little tired of getting picked on in the early game, coming through, picking up Corki for his team, and now farming out some race. And I expect Red Team to start to get that pushing game back up. They were using it really, really effectively to get all the outer turrets down in the early game. But so far, they've kind of backed off on it, and we've started a really big team fighting phase. We see Roshan now with his Oracle. He's just playing Minesweeper right there, trying to clear out some wards. And it looks like he's found himself another one, trying to get that ward advantage on the map and maybe set up some more objectives. Looks like they're in the enemy jungle, getting a lot of wards down towards blue buff in that area. If we look at Blue's vision right now, they're very focused around their blue buff. Red, kind of the same, actually. Pretty in the dark so far. So I'm expecting Roshan now to throw down some more wards and for them to prep for the next objective.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of movement back and forth, just people looking to prep, looking to get in on the action. We had Amumu was holding mid by himself for a while against Morgana and Sona, which was pretty impressive, I must say.
Yeah, that's kind of been his MO. Morgana was actually got some early kills on the Cassiopeia. He had to cover a lot, so he's had some experience at least throughout this game trying to hold that down.
Excellent. Well, we see an aggressive movement towards Baron, it looks like. Amumu does have an Oracle's missed the ward there in that bush. So it looks like Red is going to know that everybody is in position. We got Claymore coming around as Darius. He's going to find Malphite in the bush. He's going to pull him back, and it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a tussle. I don't think anything is going to quite happen yet. Malphite not really too interested in what Darius is selling. We're going to see them back off, regroup. Sivir right now, bot lane, just pushing super hard. And we are seeing pings for Baron. Blue team is poised to take it with Sivir in the bot lane. It's a question of whether or not they can afford the manpower, if they can take Baron quick enough while Sivir is still pushing.
And I think this is Hoi Hoi. They like to do this. I've seen them. They played this earlier on in the Fives tournament, but we have a teleport to try to counter this right here, and this is actually going to stifle this for Altec Ryu, but we might actually have a catch in the top lane onto Sona as well, but now Vertebreaker trying to track this down. They are able to pick off Sona, and they're now, a lot of the red team is getting picked off here, and Malphite's still all over Sivir in that bot lane. I don't know if Sivir's going to survive. Sivir is going to go down, and now stun coming off on Longley. Longley, will he be able to get us? Looks like he will. Claymore turning around, trying to get some damage onto Amumu. I don't think that is the best option at this point, but Forlorn Hope, coming back here again with another good crisis management, or at least their situational mind. And that was a great ult by Cassiopeia coming here. Now we have the scrum. Bishu trying to pop his ult, trying to make something happen. The exhaust is going down on him, trying to make a lot of that damage. Corki coming in here, loses the double up to Claymore. Claymore's actually going to be able to get a triple kill and count it up for his team. And these teams, they are just set to trade for the rest of this game so far. It is just, blow for blow at this point.
This is crazy. What a bloodbath. Everybody going in mid. Everybody just deciding that it's time. You notice, you take a look at the item builds right now. We've got a lot of GP5 on blue team. Not quite as much on red team. We're seeing Bloodthirster Phage out of Corki. We're going to see, he just picked up his Zeal. We're going to see Cassiopeia with not a single completed item yet, but a lot of mid-game pieces, making her pretty powerful. On the opposite side, Corki has an Aegis? No, I'm sorry. Maokai has an Aegis. The spectator mode weirded me out a little bit. Maokai's got an Aegis. We've got Amumu with an Abyssal Scepter. Sivir has Phantom Dancer and Bloodthirster. Pretty nasty combination there on her. And Darius with the Shurellias and a Hex Drinker. So a little bit more on item completion on the side of red team, who are now taking the dragon. And I'm not sure if we're going to see a fight here or not. Bishu throwing out some bindings and some soils. Not going to land on anybody. Red team's going to take the dragon pretty much unopposed. And we're going to see a shift towards mid as the fighting continues, while Sivir and Sona run bot lane.
Yeah, and really the key for the red team is like they have the gold. The gold is starting to stack on where they want to. They're getting Altec filled. Great,
Bishu.
Great reaction time.
Bishu knew exactly what was coming there. That was really well done. Lands the binding too, no less.
Yeah, that was dirty. And we see Altec, again, he knows that teleport's not up because it's on a long cooldown. He's pushing that bottom lane unopposed again, and Forlorn Hope's going to have to make another decision.
Yeah, he's going to get that turret, no problem. Sivir, her extreme pushing power, her ultimate is back up as well, but she's not going to she's not going to give them the chance to come down and gank her. She's going to back immediately while her team pushes mid.
Yeah, and I'm glad to actually see that Corki was in that Rovi. I thought they were sending, like, at first I thought they were, the way it was stacked on the minimap, they were sending a Mumu and Tarek down there. I was like, that's not going to be enough to stop Sivir from taking towers.
Sivir's going to have a pretty easy time with that one.
Yeah, Spell Shield and Cleanse going to be able to deal with that. Those two Rumbucks.
Totally All right, well, we see some movement up here towards Baron. It's about that time, 21 minutes in with a lot of turrets down. People are starting to get the idea that maybe Baron is something that they want. But everybody's aware of that, and so you notice red team's the only one with the ward there in that bush, but blue team knows exactly what's going on. So we're going to see a little scuffle here. There's a present going to find a Mumu, and red team is going to make the move to flank and go in behind.
This is what Roshan now is good at.
There we go. There's the root from Maokai. We're going to see the ultimates go down. Sona lands hers. Mumu lands his. Morgana's got hers. Maokai picks up a double kill. Sivir gets a Mumu. She backs out. We're going to see a lot more.
This is all red team right now.
Yeah, this is
Malphite getting in there, but it's not going to be enough.
No, sir. There's
5v1, not going to happen.
Nope. Corgi manages to squeak out of that with his life, but red team now gets Baron completely unopposed.
Yeah, and one of the key things of any team that has Roshan now on him is he's really, really good at reading enemy teams' movements and making plays like that, especially the level 1 team fights, but in scenarios like that where you're fighting over a Baron, he can just basically guess and know where you're going to go. All he needs is that little bit of vision with the Sapperling right there, and then he knew exact way to set this team up, and now they have Baron, and now they're completely in the driver's seat. They've worked their way up to 8K, and sitting pretty strong.
8K, 5 kills, no problem. We're going to see Altec come out, start to farm top a little bit. We got Damus down there doing some golems. It's going to take a lot, I think, for blue team to come back from this one. The CS count right now, Corki has 155 and Cassiopeia's got 103. Their partners, Morgana, 21 CS in the lead. Sivir, 191 CS. Just been hanging out bot lane, farming that up. And with this Baron buff and the split pushing ability of Sivir, I think they're going to be able to make a go for the Nexus.
Yeah, and it looks like Claymore's actually picked up an Oracles for his team as well. So they're going to start getting some more vision advantage, and I think they're going to really start trying to get all their lanes pushed and then really start to take some of these towers out. Once they get all their lanes pushed in, they can clear this out in the late game, close it out with this huge advantage they have and the strong pushing power they have, especially with the Sivir on their team.
Definitely. I think the one disadvantage that they have is that Baron, they did take Baron, which is a great advantage, but it's not up anymore, which means they're not going to be able to trick. Oh, man, Morgana doing a lot of damage. He's right on the edge of that soil. That was a really great little combo by Bishu.
Vertebreaker's still in. He's like, no, I got to get out of this. Get out of my way, creeps.
But as I was saying, Baron is not up, so blue team's not going to be looking to protect Baron, so the push is it's just gonna be all about the split push with Sivir and everybody else in a different spot, which with Baron I think red team is gonna be just fine.
Oh, and there's the initiate on the Bishu 5v2.
Oh,
this is the fight that they want.
That is.
And Claymore trying to back off out of this. Meanwhile, you know what's gonna happen? They're distracting. They're gonna draw this out as long, try to keep Forlorn Hope chasing him. Oh no, Altec's not gonna keep pushing. I thought Altec was gonna keep pushing, but it looks like he's. Oh yes, he is. He's going back to push that bottom lane. So they're just wasting as much time as possible. That stun coming in. Claymore's gonna try to take as many people as they want to. A little bit too aggressive. Really, they just need to just distract them for as long as possible. And if we look at Sivir, I'm sure she's working really hard on that turret. She already got it down, and she's going to be able to take an inhibitor, and this is the kind of thing that they like to do.
Yep, and that was exactly what they wanted to, you know. An engagement right there. Bishu did get caught, but they made the best out of it. Altec just being able to do whatever he wants in that bot lane. He did have to bust his ultimate to make that push happen, but one by one, those inhibitors are going to fall like that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a big play for them. Even losing people, they were able to take a big objective, take a base turret, take an inhibitor in bot lane, which is going to make the next Baron possibly even easier because you have an auto-pushing bottom lane.
Yes, that's totally correct. And also, it's going to make pushing mid lane all that easier and pushing top lane all that easier.
Yep.
We see right now, Altec coming in with Sona and Claymore's out there on the top. But, I mean, once the creep wave shows up, it's going to be really easy for them to make something happen there.
Yeah, and I think the key is, too, is, you know, a lot of teams, I mean, we have a really, really good team here, some high-level teams, but a lot of teams, sometimes they don't have the way to crack the nut, but actually might see a little bit of engagement here. Stun coming down. Red team trying to collapse on the blue team and zone them out of the secondary turret. I imagine they're going to take it really quickly here. Shirelli's pop. They want to try to catch someone here. Claymore going for the hunt.
Oh, man.
He's going to be able to pick up Corki just a little bit, but the rest of his team is coming to back up against this turret. Question is, now Red actually fading up, and they might actually just try to clear out the next level of turrets. Just
I think
take the easy turrets.
I would bet they would go out for these outer turrets. I don't think there's a whole lot blue team's going to be able to do about it. They push into the base. One inhibitor exposed. One is just straight up down. And they're just going to keep going in this top lane. Yeah, Dugmaster Darius just getting in there, clearing those creep waves. Corki has some decent clear. Cassiopeia's got great clear, but nothing compared to Sivir and Morgana, who are just going to melt this turret with the Baron. A double pull.
An engagement, but the turret's already fallen.
The turret's gone, and just Mumu and Cassiopeia are evaporated. Turret goes down. Corki and Malphite trying to get out. Looks like they're going to be able to, but Red Team now unopposed going to be able to push into blue team's base. This might be game here for red and blue team.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to take down Sono, but Sono's really not a high priority target for the red team. They're happy to give her up for the advantage they have now, and they're going to be able to take out I'd probably say the rest of the turrets and inhibitors if they really want to at this point.
If they want to get mid inhibitor, they're going to be able to. They're certainly going to get this top lane inhibitor, and I think they're going to be able to push Nexus. Baron has run out on red team, so they don't have that. That'll be up in another 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So if they manage to get all the inhibitors, they can easily push. Oh, it looks like they didn't have this turret down. I thought they managed to get that, but apparently not. They didn't even touch it.
Yeah. But blue team, if they were paying attention, they saw the Baron go down right there. They actually have the timer for Baron. They know it's going to be up in another 3 minutes.
Yep.
So that is one good thing for them, if they want to try to time that next one. But they're going to be under so much pressure in their base. And, like we were talking about earlier, that auto-pushing bottom lane, they might not even be able to defend it by the time Baron comes back up.
Yeah, it's going to be one heck of a test of will here for blue team to come back just to make sure they have the ability, they have the wave clear. They're just going to have to make a couple of big plays. Sona just soloing Dragon because,
Roshan now deciding that no one was coming to help him. That was not the best decision.
No, Roshan was like, what, we didn't even need Dragon. I could have soloed it. I could have.
He was trying to enter his cheat codes with Arcade Sona. It wasn't working out.
There we go. We got a root there. We got Bishu landing that. The soil goes down. Maokai ultimate. We have a Sona ult. Malphite just taking a bunch of damage. Mumu coming in. Claymore picking up a kill on Malphite. And we're going to see a lot more damage. Corki just plinking away.
Oh, frozen in mid-jump.
Everybody there.
Frozen in mid-jump.
We're going to see 2 kills. Claymore's going to take out Corki. Malphite's going to take out a Mumu. Cassiopeia is going to take out Claymore. It looks like no one on red team is dead except for Claymore. And this might be the game-winning push right here.
Yeah, especially with Altec running in now. The cavalry has arrived. I don't think there's any way they're going to be able to stop this push. Most of the members down for 20 seconds or so. Malphite might be the only one up by the time that he gets to watch his Nexus evaporate.
Yeah, Cassiopeia's up, but I don't think there's a lot she's going to be able to do.
Yeah.
Yep, that looks like GG. We're going to see the minions push in, and I don't think anyone's interested in tower diving. They just want to clean this one up and take the win home. So, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that we have VVV taking this team game here at the end as we see a little bit of aggressive play. The minions and Maokai pounding away on that Nexus turret. And that, ladies and gentlemen, looks like game to me.
A little bit of a consolation kill right there.
Yeah.
Onto Logley. And now there's actually just in a little bit of a scrum here. But the next is Willfall. Min's finishing off for us. Quadra kill for Altec. Was looking for a pentakill maybe to finish it off. But thanks again, Kyle, for coming in here, casting with me.
No problem.
And
man.
I look forward to seeing you guys on the stream and possibly might cast another game here
Yeah, it'd be great.
very shortly.
Right on.